right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Doug Cundiff here, and joining me today is John Scevola. We're going to take us through a few things. Let me give a preview first on what's coming. So since our last session that we had where John spent the time and we went through structured water, a lot of questions came up regarding the testing of products and so on. So haven't spoken with John. We're going to go through a few things, but also when I had the opportunity to meet with John in Anaheim, as we were mapping out plans and strategies, he started to share with me resources that are available to all of us that Nation has made available. And he shared a video, and during that call, I played the video, and it's now available in our global marketing. So if you haven't had a chance yet, Luigi has done a terrific job with creating the English marketing, the French marketing. All those tools are there, one place to get all the videos, all the resources, all the PDFs. It's tremendous. And within that section, there's the video that we shared last week, the Wellness Center videos. It's also under building business building strategies on the left-hand side. But if you go to the marketing global tools, that video is there as well. However, when John and I were speaking, not only did he share that video, but he shared what's been made available to us. We spoke with Dwan, and Jason Steele has created a web page for us. And so what I would like to do is I'm going to share a tool, a vehicle for us to perform outreach or follow-ups with practitioners. And we're going to go through that together, and then I'm going to make that available. In fact, I'll put that in the chat right now before I forget. This web page that is available to all of us. So it is there. It's olypartner.com. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And the screen, there's the share. And then this happened last time. Wait for a moment. I need the bar
Doug,
to
I just reposted that website because you said to just host and panelists. I sent it to everybody for you.
Thank you very much. All right, let's see here. All right. Let me minimize this. Okay. And Matt, thank you for joining. I'm going to ask your input on something in a moment as well. So this is the web page that is available to all of us as we continue with our practitioner outreach. And so while we do have a lot of favorite videos, we have our own Launchpad link that we could share. Oftentimes when we're meeting and speaking with practitioners, what we want to share or not share, we're cautious with that, right? Because we need the discussion we want to have or follow up with. It's different than speaking with a friend or family member. And so when John shared this, and John, I know this is a collaborative call, so please jump in as well. But what I'd like to do is take us through this website that has been made available to us. Each of us have access to this, and we're going to be looking for ways to make this available in our connection center as well. But let's take a little bit of time and go through this because it is clean, it is crisp, and it's going to serve a number of purposes for us. So I'm not going to read every line to you, but the way that it starts, you can see that it's about practice growth, right? With something as little as a 20-minute session, what can it do? I'm going to scroll through this first, top to bottom, and then come back to a few of the sections I want to highlight. But on this page, it has information about our products, which we're going to go to. Okay, it does highlight the P90 Plus. But then the video that we shared last week, so why are practices paying attention? That 4-minute video that really introduces the opportunity for this partner program is right on this web page. We won't play it again for the sake of time. I want to make sure we leave some time for John and the product testing tools. But that video is there. If you haven't seen it yet, it's off the charts clean. Then it takes the time, and for the many practitioners are aware of what PEMF is, but if you're not, this goes through what it is. And really, what are we looking to do for their clients or patients, right? Depending on the setting, they're referred to as a patient or a client. But it does highlight, and these buttons don't really go to another page right now, but they do highlight for us. And then it gets into a little bit more about want to explore the science behind it. So now there's going to be a section, we're going to review this in a moment together, to get through the details of the program. Okay. And then who is this for? So while this is informative for us, it does show the practitioners that we may be collaborating with. Practitioners, wellness business owners, they fall in that same category. These are all the different settings. These, again, don't click and take us to another page, but they do highlight. So you see the different opportunities. This is nice because it shows the person that we're sharing this with, or the person who might receive this web page as a link to explore. It has that information as far as who else is this appropriate for. And by having this in your setting, how might clients respond, right? So, okay, I know what PEMF is because we shared that above. What's the outcome of having them do a 20-minute session? What's possible? Okay, has some of those features, those benefits as well. And then it starts to get into it, recaps what was shared in the video above, the 3 different opportunities in which they can get paid. Okay, and then it also has, which I love, as we're following up with practitioners, oftentimes they want a little validity on the company. Do the products do what they say they're going to do? Their certificates are available to us. And then the OlyLife, the corporate trust, right? The video that gets into the details on OlyLife, the testing, the third-party audit has had. It does mention the certificates as well. We're familiar with that video. It's included in this web page as well. And then if you're ready to get going, it goes connect with the OlyLife partner that shared this with you. So what's clean about this, what's nice about sharing this, is there's not a link that takes them anywhere else. If you shared it with them through whatever vehicle you did, then they get back to you. Okay. And Matt, in a moment, we'll come to you, but let's dig a little bit deeper into some of these links. So, and there's a few things that I want to share or make us aware. So the first thing is when we click the products, oftentimes we are leading with the P90 plus. But what it does is it does take us to the PDFs of the different products that are available to us. Now, I did look at this and want everyone to be aware. I'm scrolling along the left-hand side right now. Is they do include the H bar is still in this PDF file. Okay, so if we share this web page and they click the product link, we need to be aware that that is still in there and be able to talk to the fact that that is no longer a product that's available. But these are the PDF pages that have the details. And so this resource can also be something that we can use and print out and have one-pagers or multi-pagers. But the first grouping of these PDFs are the details. And then the second setting gets into the cleaner versions, or it's the shorter, less text, more visual pictures. And again, I'm just going to scroll through the left-hand side here. Okay, and that H bar is there as well. Okay, but we have terrific opportunity to see. That was a shaking at the bottom. Just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing that this resource has for us is a way for us to share more information about the products without getting into a product video. Okay, that information is there from a practitioner standpoint. Oftentimes, that's what they want to read. They don't need to see a lot of different videos there. Okay, the next thing, we're back at the top, scrolling down again. Okay, there's that video, 4-minute video that talks about the program itself, what is PEMF, but then explore the partner program. So the video, that first video, gets into sharing a little bit more about what this program is. Okay, and this is a great front and back one-pager, right? Who is this for? That's on the web page. How they might respond. Very clean resource for us. And then it gets into a little bit on how this can generate revenue. So the video gets into the details of this, but again, you might want a handout to leave with them and send this web page to. A number of different ways we can use this, but it gets into the 3 different ways we get paid. And I want to spend a little bit of time discussing this, because there's some variations here that we need to be aware of that we can have in conversation. So the first way you can get paid is that a wellness, social wellness center or practitioner, whoever brings this into their setting, their practice, they could offer paid sessions. And the video will talk about anywhere from $35 to $100, and they state that on average at $75. I will say, in my experience, and if anyone else has some other experiences that they want to put in the chat, what they're seeing when folks are offering a P90 plus session in their practice, I'm seeing anywhere between $30 and $40 per session. But just be aware that the math done here is suggesting that they're charging $75. So they have the device, right? They have, let's just use the P90 plus as a discussion. They're doing $75 per session. They're doing 6 a day. And when I did the math, they're offering it every day. So this is a setting that is open 7 days a week.
Hey,
Okay.
Doug,
Yes.
one consideration on this area would be how much involvement the practitioner has with the patient in that session. So, if the patient is just sitting there with their feet on the P90 or P90 plus, and you come back 20 minutes later and they're done, that's a different involvement. And maybe less
hands-off modality, right?
Exactly. If you're there for 20 minutes, half an hour, wanding them with a wand or instructing them or doing the claw on them or whatever, now that would cost more because your time is valuable too.
John,
So,
yeah, keep going.
no. And then, of course, some people will use a session to demonstrate it for free. Sometimes people will charge and they'll sell them a block of 4 or 5 or 6 sessions, and they get a lower cost that way. So, and then sometimes they'll sell them a session or two and then rebate them if they buy a product.
Very good.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's a number of considerations that would factor into this, but you definitely, if you're going to start using this tool, and this tool is in the spirit of getting their interest. It doesn't go into great depth in a comp plan and a lot of things. It's getting their curiosity, their interest, but you need to be prepared to talk the talk we're talking right now. So if they're asking, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Whatever, you need to kind of know that ahead of time. You have a plan of how to explain this stuff. Maybe the next point is getting your sponsor involved in a 3-way. He's explaining it, or she, as well as have a plan if they're ready to go, but they go, I just don't have the time to deal with this. You need to have a plan in place in mind how you could help them. I know I was talking to a very successful distributor in Anaheim, and he talked to somebody who knew a lot of people, but I just don't have the time to deal with it. He goes, I'll take care of that for you. Just give me the names. And the guy gave him the names. He started following up. That first month, that guy who gave him the names made about $20,000. And so you need to have a plan. If they go, I don't have the time, I said, that's not a problem. We have a plan to help you with that and whatever. You just need to have thought this through. This whole thing here is really just getting their curiosity, their interest, but you really need to know where to take it the next step.
John, I want to add to what you just said. There's another,
Yeah.
sorry, Doug. Hey, John, there's
Please.
another individual that got started that didn't have the time, but had the contact list. And they put in a plan where people were going to help with her contacts. And she made she worked her ass off. Disclaimer, results not typical, but she made 50 grand her first month doing the exact play that you just talked about, John. I just wanted to add that as well.
Yep.
And that's perfect. John, Matt, thanks for jumping in. That's, by reviewing this webpage, we're not just sharing the tool itself. What are some nuances? What are some strategies? What are some ideas? So yes, John, I think your example, first of all, on helping a practitioner decide, what that price point is, right? So that hands-off modality, get them set up and they're going, and you get to leave them alone before or after your core service. That's right. That's a lower cost. And I do work with a practitioner where one session is $40, a package of 5 is 35 on average, a package of 10 is on 30 average, right? Versus say a massage therapist who's doing, using the red light Revitalux massager before they do their hands-on technique. That's still hands-on, time consuming. Time is valuable, as you stated. That warrants a higher price there. So that's a discussion that you need to be ready to have. But all that being said, we should not be afraid of those discussions, right? As as John and Matt have stated, be ready for the conversation. Let's get their curiosity going.
You know, the other thing I was just thinking when I was looking at this myself is don't be thinking that the guy or the woman chiropractor or whatever is going to buy one product. They could very well get really excited about this and have 2, 3, 4, 5 stations and doing a networking thing. And they've got people going through that. Now that makes these numbers even more plausible. Okay, so if the doctor, the practitioner does a proof of concept and they do one and it's successful, they're going to add on more. Okay, and we've seen that with other wellness clinics. And Ricky Brandino has been talking about, you know, where they're converting whole rooms for these products because the people love them. They're getting the results, and now all of a sudden, they don't just have one there. They've got 2, 3, 4 P90 pluses going, networking that way, and rotating through the different products.
So John, there was somebody in the chat just said it feels the income part is overestimated for the average practitioner, many which could be sole traders. Kalima, I think John just covered what you were worried about. If you have multiple devices in the space and you have people using it, I mean, if you do the math on the 6 times 75 in a day, depending, and then you multiply it out, if somebody really focused on it and wanted to make this a massive part of their income inside of their practice, I don't think it's overestimated at all, in my opinion, but that's just me. I think big. I help people think big always, just how I operate. Sorry, John, back to you, Doug.
Sure.
No, that's what this all is, and people should be, I'll say, challenge the thinking, right? That's appropriate, and we should all do that all the time because we're the ones that have to respond. Is this the model versus what there are options within this, right? Someone can just do paid sessions and they have no interest in offering in a retail setting to their patients, right? The second section that doesn't tie a dollar amount to it, this is what we've shared before, right? When a practitioner offers it for availability purchase for home use, you know, the math behind this that leads to this is if you start offering this to patients and they enroll, you're going to get your performance bonus plus every 2, you're going to get your tier bonuses, right? So being able to, you know, the net proceeds of enrolling a P90 plus, you get $90 after the 20% is taken out. You get $90 for the performance bonus and $450 for a tier. Well, you know, a performance and a tier, you know, 2 sales, they're $630. So that itself can be another model too, where maybe they're not doing paid sessions, maybe have complimentary sessions in their clinic and they position the availability for that to be purchased at home. And then the third part of this is, and we've talked about this, many practitioners may not be wanting to talk about patients referring word of mouth. It gets into, you know, how that can happen, but others are going to want to. And Helen West is who we're talking about, the wellness center owner out in California. This now gets into the binary option. So what's possible? This is a conversation starter to customize a plan that fits for that practice. And that's the whole idea of generating curiosity, as both John and Matt have stated there.
The other thing too is these products can be a value add to their clinic. So while they're waiting to get on one of their other big expensive machines, they could be sitting there with the feet on P90. And while they're waiting to get a massage, they're sitting there with the feet on P90. And all of a sudden, they start realizing that that's more valuable to the customer than the massage or whatever it is. But a lot of them start out that way, and they're using it in the waiting rooms. And all of a sudden, the customer's going, wow, this is like fantastic. And it builds. But all along, we wanted them to understand we're not trying to replace your business. We're trying to augment it, add value to it.
Yeah.
And many clinics have actually found that this does become a very big part of them. But we don't want to scare them and think, oh, wait, I have all this investment and you're trying to, you know, replace it all. And so you always want to be approaching it as a value add.
Yeah, there's, I want to say there is something, there is a wording in here. I'm not sure if I'm looking at it right now or not, but they definitely reference the fact that This is complementary in nature. It's a complement to the core business or core service that they have. Again, we are aware that some are migrating fully to this. Yeah, so a lot of options here. We wanted to share, again, this website is available to all of us now. Matt, let me ask you a question there. So you're part, we have the launch pad that we have available to us to share that has all the videos to introduce PEMF, the products, the company. There's an affiliate opportunity on that as well. So we have the Launchpad webpage, replicated webpage that's available for all of us. But in sharing something like this, Matt, I recall, when I first had a chance to meet you, you're 26 plus years in the industry, your YouTube presence and so on. What thoughts, and my apologies if I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but what early thoughts come to mind for ideas in which we could share or use this? Again, I'm thinking this can absolutely be a follow-up, or it could be a lead if you've had a warm handoff, a warm introduction. But what are your what thoughts come to you when you see a page like this? What's possible? And again, I know you haven't spent a lot of time, you're just seeing this now, but
Yeah, I mean, I started looking at it just a few minutes. So the very first thing that comes to mind is don't be a tool, use the tools, folks. Let me repeat that. Don't be a tool, use the tools. We have a phenomenal resource that Jason's put together in Oli Nation with this website right here. Luigi's gone above and beyond with our Launchpad and our replicated websites. And having had massive success in actually 32 years in network marketing and 26 years online, Doug,
thank you. Thank you.
I always use the tools. I don't want to know everything. I don't need to know everything. We have resources for that. And matter of fact, there's 4 magic words that anybody wants to say to themselves that you want them saying to themselves when they're looking at your opportunity, whether it's from a practitioner standpoint or somebody that you're trying to recruit into your business. Does anybody on the panel know what those 4 magic words need to be? I can do that. I can do that. And so if you're not using the tools and you're not using the resources and you're totally 100% trying to know everything and then you're regurgitating that information, or we call puking all over everybody, excuse the graphic terminology, but it's true. And 9 out of 10 times you end up talking people right out of partnering with you because they think they need to know all of this information. So short answer, this is an amazing resource. When you reached out to me before the call and told me about this, I went and started looking at it. First off, it's well done. It's all on one page.
Yeah.
Everything, I think he's thought of everything. I don't think there's much more that needs to be on there other than updating the PDF that's got the H bar. And so short answer, don't be a tool, use the tools. And again, thanks to Jason built it, Kasia. Jason from Oli Nation M4. And thanks to Luigi for putting together not only the resources we have, but these calls, just everything. And thanks to Doug for leading this, and John, just everybody. But that's my simple answer. I don't know if you want me to expand on that, but don't be a tool, use the tools. I got a person that one of my new enrollers, or sorry, one of my new business partners is opening Austria and Germany right now, and he's got somebody from Austria that's asking questions. And I just sent you a message because they asked some question that I'm like, I have no clue, but I bet Doug knows that answer. And it was something about the frequency gauze. Some gauze, you know what a gauze is? I don't even know what I know gauze pads when you get injured, but yeah. So maybe you can answer that for me privately. But
You got it.
But I told Granat, I'm like, I am not your product guy. If you get somebody that's really focused on the products, then we need to reference what we have available in all the PDFs, in all of the information brochures. And if we need to, we might be able to lean on Doug, even though he's not my business partner on upline, downline, sideline, all those terminologies, but we might be able to lean on Doug for expertise. So anyway, back to you.
Love it. And there was a question regarding, someone said they couldn't find the one PDF that we were just sharing. So there will be a button halfway down that says explore the program. If you push that, that's where you'll find it there. Okay. All right. So
folks, just go poke around on that website. Everything referenced today on this call so far is on. By the way, I know we posted it in the chat. I'm just going to say it again. It's https://www.olypartner.com. OLYPARTNER.com. Back to you, Doug.
beautiful. Thank you. And Matt, if there are more questions or if it's worth getting in deeper, we'll see if there's time at the end. But the first part, this was about tools to help us build our business. This is our practitioner engagement call. But we also, as we get more product knowledge and build our depth of knowledge, we want to make sure that when we're asked questions about using tools to test and to demonstrate and help move someone along in that sales cycle, if you will. John has shared a number of tools on recent calls, but we're going to turn it over to John here. And John's going to take us through some of the different products and ways to test what's available as it relates to their frequencies. So John, can we turn it over to you?
Thank you. Okay, so most of the products, the OlyLife products, come with these little capsules, right? And I regularly, every day, I see people going, what is that capsule for, right? Because there's no instructions in the box and so forth. And I wanted to just clarify a few things about these. Now, there's two different sizes. This is from two different products. I think one's from the wand and one's from the, I'm not sure which one it came from. Maybe the shaken, but anyway, that doesn't matter. What's in the little plastic capsule is a little round magnet. And this is to demonstrate, to verify that some of our devices are actually emitting PEMF, right? Pulsed electromagnetic frequency field. And so one of the videos talks about our products and talks about that we use two different types of PEMF. And one's a low frequency PEMF and one's a high frequency PEMF. And the high frequency PEMF is very unique. I really recommend you get into the patent. And if it's in Chinese, take that and give it to ChatGPT, and it'll translate the whole patent, the whole certificate for you. And when you read through it, you don't have to understand everything, but you'll be amazed the technology that's in some of these products. This thing got 100 patents. Many of those patents are in for China because they're known for knockoffs and so forth. But we have many patents that are in the US. And this creates terahertz in a very unique way. This creates the PEMF in a very unique way. And if you take your little testing tube, you turn on your wand and hold the tube right near the front, the little magnet will start jumping around. Okay. And that's demonstrating that it's interacting with a magnetic field that's coming out and it's jumping around. Now, what a lot of people know that, a lot of our distributors know that, but one thing nobody really thinks about is that magnetic field is going to the plastic and affecting the magnet. So it's really a twofer. It's demonstrating the field's coming out, but it's also demonstrating that that field can go through almost anything but metal and slows down with water. So it goes right through that plastic and it starts interacting with that magnet. So you're showing somebody there, hey, this is a field that can go right through many different substances as well as interact with the magnet. I want to keep it simple for most people that use these products. Most everybody will get these and know how to use this. And then I'm going to describe three other tools that everybody can very easily use and understand. Here again, if you take your Galaxy goggles, you turn them on and you put the magnet near it, it's going to start jumping around, demonstrating that there's, especially in the back really, it'll start jumping around, showing that there's PEMF coming out of the goggles. We take the wand, the Lux, right, wand, and again, you put your wand there, it's going to start jumping around, okay? And you take your shaken, and again, put this in the back towards the areas of the rubber where it's there. It'll start jumping around. And but some people will take this and they'll put them on the P90 plate plus energy plates, and they're going, it's not working. Okay. Because this is strictly designed to help you demonstrate on those other products I just showed you. And it's demonstrating the low frequency PEMF coming out. The high frequency PEMF that we have patented that's coming up through your body out of the P90 plus, that's a high frequency. That will not make these jump around. Okay. Now you have to start using a different type of device. And we have several of them, like, and I'll talk about these. Now, what's interesting about what I'm describing to you is there are some knockoffs being sold on Amazon, and they say P90, P90 plus, they look like the product, and they cost like $500. So I'm regularly getting, hey, what's this? How come they're selling these $500, right? But the companies that are schlepping those knockoffs shot themselves in the foot, because they, in the video, they focus in on their foot plates, and they have this little device sitting on the foot plate and the magnet's jumping around. Okay. That proves that it's a knockoff, because this will not jump around on a P90 plus. It jumps around on their device because they're using a low frequency coil PMF, and who knows what's actually putting out or whatever. But if there's something magnetic there and it's causing it to jump around, but that proves that it's a knockoff, because ours, it won't jump around because it's a high frequency PMF coming up through the body and giving us the extraordinary results that we see with the product. Okay. So I'm going to do, I'll do in a further session where I delve into P90 and deep dive on that and give you some tips and tricks on that or whatever. And I'll actually show that video. We'll talk about that, as well as competition that might be out there to describe that, because I've actually got inside the machines and showed them and had AI compare, and we'll get into all that down the road. Right now, I just want to keep it down to the simple tools that we have. So this device, most everybody's kind of familiar with this. And this is something you can get on Amazon for what, about two for $10, something like that. And it's a conductivity test tool. Okay. And you know, you have the person sit there with their feet not on the P90 plus yet, and you touch it to their leg, and nothing, the light on top doesn't light up because there's no conductivity going on through their legs or whatever. Then they put their feet on the P90 plus, and you touch it to their leg, and it lights up, and everybody goes, "Oh, wow!" Right? Now, this will light up usually almost everybody's leg. Okay, some people a little higher in their body, it'll light up. It never lights up that far for me on my body. Now, this is not a diagnostic tool. This is a $6-7 little conductivity test pen, right? So some people go, "Oh, this is not working. It's not lighting up in my head. It's not working. I want a refund," you know, or whatever. This is strictly designed to verify that you're getting current into your body. But don't be judging how effective the product is on this little $6-7 tool. Okay. And we have, that's a whole nother call, how to judge if you're getting the effects. You're getting, everybody is getting effects. And there again, if this is not lighting up higher up, that doesn't mean you need to crank up your P90 plus to 8 or 9 or 10. I've seen people do that. No, by and large, slow and slow, right? Test their ankle. If it's warm, that's good. If it's hot, you want to back off, right? Low and slow. This is not proving that this is affecting your brain and your whatever. All this is testing and verifying is that you're getting conductivity into your body. Now,
Hey, John,
Ricky,
if I could jump in real quick, John. So
okay.
the pen that you're just sharing there, so that is, it's effective to use when someone has their feet on the foot plates on the P90 plus. Someone chimed in, yeah, but the P90 plus comes in with a little tube with the magnet in it, and that is correct. And that is to be used as another visual for when you're using the Revitalux massager.
Just that.
Just want to make sure that that's why it's included. So they don't include a sample for you like this to use for the P90 plus foot plates, but they do provide the solution that you can use for the Revitalux.
Right. And I
just wanted
get
to
a lot
answer
of
that question
questions on
since it was right there.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
Keep going.
question. Now, Ricky found a pen that's really next level, right? And it looks like this, right? This is called a non-contact voltage detector on Amazon. Again, you can get these for like 2 for $10, whatever. So it's not expensive. But this one is really cool because you turn it on, and when you touch it, it makes a sound. So that's fun. So not only does it light up, but it goes right.
That's pretty
Good
good.
sound, right? Okay. Now, but what I really love about this is if you have this on your leg and it's making a noise, and you pull this away from your arm, it's still going off. That is awesome, because what that's showing is the field all around your arm, and this is much more sensitive than this. Okay. So this will go off on your leg, but then you pull it away and you show that, folks, this is putting a field up through your body, and you can demonstrate that. Okay. Now this one, I've actually had this go off in other higher parts of my body because it's much more sensitive. Now here's where it really gets awesome is I took, and you can demonstrate to somebody, you put this on your leg, it's going off. Now you put some cardboard in between, and this will go right through their clothes now, right? This you can't, this has to be on bare skin. This one, you could touch right to their shirt or their pants, and it'll go off. This is, again, demonstrating that the PMF and the field is going through the clothes. It'll go through the cardboard. You put cardboard on your pants, and it'll still go off. I put a piece of wood on my leg, and you put that on a leg, and it still goes off. Now
John,
that does, yes, sir.
real fast, that's called a Neotech non-contact AC voltage tester pen. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I guess people are starting to put stuff in the chats, guys. Okay, perfect. That's all. So Neotech non-contract AC.
Yeah, there's a couple of different ones on there. They all look like that, and they have different colors, but it's great because it's much higher sensitivity, and it shows the field coming up from your body. Now, the most awesome tool you want to have if you're into demonstrating these things is the Spangler Energy Stick. Okay. Now, Ricky became famous on stage because he showed the stick, right? And he did admit that I'm the one who showed him. So I just want people to understand how awesome I am. So I found this from Dr. Northrup. She was demonstrating this to some customers about energy. But why you really want this device, and this is, again, only, I think it's about $14, but it's well worth it, because you start out talking about how we're all energy, and you touch one end and you touch your other end, and it goes off. And it's showing that you are the battery. This is going off because you are the battery, right? Now, it's really awesome when you have one person hold that, and then you have 5, 10, 20 people hold their hands, and then the last person goes here and it goes off. It shows that we all are conductive in our bodies and so forth. But that's great as far as the demonstration, no matter what product you're selling them. Shaken, all the PMF products. This is a great demonstration that we are a battery. But if you only hold one end, touches to your leg, it'll go off. But then you can move this away from your leg, and it'll keep going off. 5, 6, 7 inches away, this thing is going up. And again, it's going up because there's a field. Okay. It's a very, very powerful add to the demonstration.
John, just so you know, your virtual backdrop of the frequencies, it messes when you hold up stuff. It cuts it off. And just if you weren't aware, sir.
I know I was trying to be cool, but next time I'll just use a room like yours. So thank you.
You're super cool, man. We appreciate you and all that you're teaching us. So you're super cool. Don't
I'm
discount yourself, my friend.
I'm more than just super cool, but I'll take that for tonight. So I have to be to keep up with everybody else is on the call here.